Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Monday. Looks beautiful. Looks good on my end. I'm so excited to be here. Holy, my hair is an expression of what is going on in the world today. I'm just like, so much happening. Movement in all directions. How is everyone feeling? How are we doing today? I just want to take a moment to express gratitude before we even get started, just to say I love you and I'm so grateful to share this space with you. And just to breathe into that for a moment. I'm so happy that you're here. I'm so happy that you're here. It's been it's been a lot, my meditation this morning, as well as, and I say a lot in such a beautiful Scorpio rising conjunct Pluto type of a way, where I love when things are a lot. I love when things happen all at the same time. I love when there's movement in all directions. I love when things make sense. And it's been, yeah, it's been a pretty beautiful 24, 48 hours. How have you been? How was your weekend? How has the past week been for you? How have things been shifting? What has been alive and new for you? That was, yeah, last week was the new moon. We entered Sagittarius season. Where's Sag fall in your chart? Please share what's alive with you. What is most alive for you right now? What does it feel like to be you? What's most beautiful and wonderful? Or if it's not beautiful or wonderful, it doesn't have to be my descriptive words, but how's it going out there? Hmm. I think that what's what's most alive for me, dreams have been absolutely bananas, absolutely so incredible. Yeah, to put it mildly, yes, but I'm going to listen and see how you're feeling in the last 24, 48 hours. There's so much. There's so much. I think that yes, yes. Nigel, missed you so much. Happy Monday. How are you? I'm so grateful that you're here. It's been beautiful and wonderful. I'm so happy that you're feeling that because it's very much our perception of it can be so interesting and can be so immediately divisive, I think, for myself. I'll speak from my statements that my brain can label something immediately as this is good, this is bad, instead of this is powerful or this is, there's goodness in here, there's something to feel, there's something to process. Like there's good juice in there, Sarah. There's good juice. And I have been really trusting and listening to the God of my understanding for the videos that I've been recording and what I've been putting out there and what has been coming about. And the video that I recorded today, and the conflicts in between and separate timelines. And there's just so much happening and a real powerful, like, clear message that was coming through was, again, the title of this video, movement in all directions. But the timelines have chosen, kind of, it was very much like timelines have chosen, you are on your chosen timeline. And so we don't have to think about the fractals of the quantum multiverse. We can just think individually of whatever decisions you've really been focused on or whatever seeds you've been planting. It's not so much that they've like come to fruit, but it's kind of like, the moment where there's a sapling, like a wee little tree, and all of a sudden there's a moment that their roots are grounded enough that it's like, oh, we're going to grow. This is actually happening. And so maybe we've been feeling a little bit wobbly. Maybe we've been feeling, is this the right seed to plant? Am I planted? Am I getting the right amount of water and nutrients? What is going on? But it just feels like, for myself and this community, so many, it's like all of a sudden, and maybe it's just the root network that hit. It might not actually be making sense fully in our paradigm. We might not be seeing it fully in the actual physical reality that we're residing in, but something clicked. Something clicked. Inner critic looking for its own validation and to reinforce ego. Yes, once that eclipse, then it's easier to just flow with it. That's huge, huge, huge. How's life been? November has been jam-packed with work for me, but practicing gratitude as always. Malaysia is freezing for 1 week now. Cozy season incoming. What is wintertime like in Malaysia? What does that look like? Like, what is the temperature looking like? I've missed you. Definitely what's most alive is just finding joy in the pace of things, enjoying slowing down. I've been loving cooking, loving baking, loving getting on my yoga mat, loving meditation, loving spending time with Sybil. I've been knitting, I've been super crafty. And I was chatting with a friend the other day about how I haven't been getting on my canvases as much, which it's chilly, it's cold. So there's definitely the tactile, the practical reasons for it. But I've really been enjoying like, oh, beautiful, beautiful. And please, yeah, share what your name is if you'd like, where you're from, where in the planet you are. Like, please, like, share with the group. I'm in Massachusetts. My name's Sarah, if you're new around here. But if you're comfortable and confident, this is a whole, we're global at the cafe and we're multidimensional. So some of us are having late night tea, some of us are hanging out, some of us, this is an Earl Grey with some coconut sugar. But please chat and share and get to know everybody in the group. But yeah, finding, yeah, so I was sharing with my friend that I was like, I haven't been getting on my canvases, but creativity is coming through. Mwah. Ah, thank you. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that you're here. Thank you so much for joy. I'm so grateful. And, I express so much gratitude and I know that everyone has been, I missed you so much. So know that like my time away, like it's just, I'm integrating all these things right alongside you. So it's so much. And even the video that I'm posting later on after this live about like the guides are not gods, I've gone through these things. So I'm not coming at you to say like, do this or be careful of this. It's like, oh no. I have a tattoo on my body of one of my guides that I pedestalized for a while. So yeah, 25 degrees here every day. Normally wintertime, it gets foggy, white, mystical, magical coldness, just rainy season. Even the rain looks like snow. Oh my goodness, that sounds so magical. That sounds so beautiful, Nigel. Oh my goodness, I love that. I love that so much. It's, we've been getting a little bit of frost every day. I saw a few flutters of snow the other day, but it's been quickly turning to rain. So we haven't had snow here yet, but it's just, I love this time of year. And I did a whole video on the holidays and like where I go for the holidays. So it's very much like I'm in 1993. Yeah, I'm just shopping around at Sears. Colorado, just in the middle of some profound realizations. That's beautiful. That's so beautiful. And I feel as though this movement is coming in realizations. This week alone, Saturn's going to go direct on the 27th and Mercury's going to go direct on the 29th. This is so huge. The video tomorrow, my Four Horsemen series, if you've been following that along, is going to be on Saturn. So Saturn is over here. You can see going direct on the 27th. That's Eastern Standard Time, so it might be different for others. But this is big stuff. Last week we talked about Jupiter and home and kind of more of the broader, ambiguous why things are not really happening in the way that we want. And it's like this, like, what? It's just outside of our reach. And there's just like a whole bunch of people that are like, yes, I've wanted something that I thought was self-serving, but I know that it's for my highest good. And it's very much, those cultural family roots. You can't see Jupiter, but I love this board. This was the OG board, and I feel like you can kind of see it a little bit better. I know I'm kitty cornered, so you can't really see it, but good morning, good morning. And I wanted you to be able to see the board a little bit better. And the moon is almost exactly where my natal moon is. We've got like, enjoy the Capricorn moon time, everybody. But Saturn going direct this week, as well as Mercury. For some reason, I didn't want to put them down. Going direct this week in water energy. This is deep emotions. These are deep, profound realizations, like Ron was saying, that we're having, where this happening in our house is sole purpose. And that trine that's been going on with Jupiter and Saturn, they've been talking about, I'm not going to let you build a house, a life on sand. If something's not working, it's not meant to. And it might be very, very frustrating. But right now, this movement is going to happen from the inside out, in my perspective, that it's been the biggest shift that I've been making in my life. That all the seasons in the past, I would go out and I would do something 3D and I would have it, I need it to be tactile. I'm impatient. My Aries sun is like, I gotta see it now. And my impatience would take over and I would start on a timeline. I would start on a side quest. Not doing it this time. I'm working on my mindset. I'm changing my thoughts and I'm starting there and I'm going inward and I'm finding my compelling vision in the way that things that maybe I had put out to be so big, that universal law of comparison I always talk about. Again, I'm right alongside you doing this work. I'm not in any way, I'm walking my talk with you. And so when I do have something to say, it's very much, I'm like, we're in the middle. This is just it just makes sense. And so let's talk about it. But this is, what did I write down? Sag season, leading with love. Oh, yes. So in the container of Sagittarius season, Saturn's going to go direct, Mercury's going to go direct. That's this week. But next month, on the 10th of December, again, this is Eastern Standard Time, Neptune's going direct. And these are two of the boulders we've been talking about. Oh, sorry, Uranus is retrograde. These are two of the four horsemen that we've been talking about. These are massive things that we've been talking about. And this is all happening in late degree Pisces. This is also where the North Node is. The North Node is our collective destiny. It's where we're going. Saturn is going direct on the 27th. Everything has happened in the service of destiny. Exactly. I love the way that you put that. It's on the 27th Eastern Standard. So that's Thanksgiving for people in the United States. If you celebrate those things, it's happening on Thanksgiving. And I feel as though, and again, I'm going to do a whole deep dive on Saturn. That's the next four horsemen. We're going to do that tomorrow. Saturn and Neptune. It's going to be so lovely and beautiful. So lovely and beautiful. This is, there was a beautiful question that it was on Pam Gregory's video that I watched her videos on the day of the event. So it was her new moon in Scorpio video. We're really, and I've been doing this journaling, Saturn and Neptune together in the last degrees of Pisces. This is 25 and 29 degrees. What is happening? Where does that fall in your chart between 25 and 29 degrees of Pisces? This is the end and the beginning. We know that conjunction that is coming up in February of next year is both of them meeting at the 0 point of Aries. It's wild. January, February of next year is just absolutely wild. So beautiful. January is its own year. That's the title. That's the title in my companion of 2026 is January is its own year. It's just so beautiful and lovely. But in February, these two conjunct together at the Aries point at the first degree of the entire zodiac. What does this mean to you? Really spend some time with us. Really spend some time with us. Heavily in Sagittarius season, because both of these boulders are going direct. You can utilize the lens of Saturn and Mercury going direct this week. So Mercury, our inner Hermes, the way that we think, the way that we speak and communicate going direct. So it could be a little bit of that clarity comes through as to why this is happening. What are the closures? What needs to die? What needs to end? And even, I don't even want to say die, what needs to be integrated? What have you outgrown? What's something that you can say? One journal prompt that I got this morning, which is choose a phrase to retire this week. And it just blew my mind. Or think of something that you say. If our words are our spells, our words create a reality. What's a phrase that you say a whole bunch that you're like, I'm done with. I'm so done with. And it's something that it actually came to me. I wrote it down right before this live where if Sybil's doing something, I recognize that she's doing something that she's about to knock something over. Sybil's my cat, if you don't know that. And so sometimes she'll be ready to knock something over. And I know she's about to cause a mess and I know it. And I'll just say to her, I don't know about that, Sybil. I don't know. I do know. I don't want her to do it. So I don't need to say, I don't know. I need to say, please don't do that. Or I need to express. But that phrase, I don't know about that. I don't know. How many times a day am I saying, I don't know? So it just shifted for me. So yeah, choose a phrase to retire this week. My moon is in Pisces. So yeah, intuition and beginning as well as the ending. That is huge. That is huge. Intuition blossoming for sure. And really reminding yourself, this could be, and I don't want to project, but this is just coming to me now. I want to share it, especially with Pisces placements, is a lot of your intuition is finding that oh, I have been right. Not that the other person has been wrong, but my intuition is strong. I feel good in it. I feel safe in it. I feel powerful in it. And I also know where and when to share my downloads and to share what it is that I'm getting. There's a video that I did a while ago. It was like manners on sharing downloads. Yes, right? It just popped. It was just, so yeah, the phrase I'm retiring is I don't know. That's just, if I don't know, I can say I don't know, but that's the phrase that if I'm talking it just was one of those basic, like, oh, I don't know about that, where it's like, if me saying I don't know about that and I go up an octave, that's my body being like, I know exactly what I want to say, but I'm judging if you can perceive it, or I'm judging if I can share it here or not, or I'm discerning. So I'm retiring that phrase. Yes, the phrase to retire. So I welcome all of you. It just, that was a today question that I wrote down in my journal. And it's a beautiful, yeah, yeah. That's a lot of what North Node in Pisces and Saturn and Neptune going direct in Pisces this season says to me, all happening in a Sagittarius season, which is mutable fire energy. All of these lenses just say to me, like, you can be right, but you don't need to entertain that. You don't need to spar with that. You can just continue to be in your chosen reality. Yes, integration instead of being dead is a little confusing to me, to be honest. What is integrating to you? What do the parts go that you have outlived? What do they become instead? Huge question. Beautiful. Yes, something we all know at the core. So that is a phrase that I've really been integrating lately. And I want to make sure that so I'll use an experience that I've used in the past. And I've spoken to this a little bit, but it really gives a nice like picture and dramatization. Whereas, as you know, I'm sober. I drink coffee for sure and I drink tea, but I don't drink and I don't utilize cannabis flower anymore. So there were times that I would think of a moment where Sarah was buckled or she was unhinged or she was doing things, and I would judge it and I would be like, oh, that version of me is dead. Like, absolutely not. Like, all these things. Like, I would push it away. And so something that I do now is I step into that painting. I step into that dramatization. I step into the moment and it's me and I'm doing whatever it was that was unhinged and drinking or doing whatever it was. And I just go up to that version of myself and I say, "Hey, I love you." And more often than not, that version of me turns around and she's like, "I'm terrified. I'm scared. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm so unhappy. I'm alone. I don't want to be in this relationship. I don't want to be doing this. I don't have enough money. I'm going to be homeless. I don't know what's going on." And I just say, "I love you." And I just say, "I love you 100%. I'm here with you." I don't teach her. I don't try to change the image. I don't do anything. I just sit with myself and I love myself. And that, if we view it as a quantum view of everything's happening all at the same time, past, present, and future is happening all at the same time, instead of me pushing that version of me away to say, you were wrong, you were stupid, you did something that is demonized, instead of me pushing that version of me away, I hold her close to my bosom and I say, "I love you exactly as you are, right here and right now. You don't have to do anything. I don't have to label you as courageous or as tenacious. I don't have to label you. I'm just going to love you. Just fully love and integrate and say, I'm running the ship now." So instead of saying you have to die and then be pushed out of me, I say, me now, I am running the ship. So that integration is, I love you. I hold you in my heart fully, but I am now running the ship. I'm now in control of the avatar, and we're not going to act out of those experiences anymore. We're not going to act out of those trauma responses anymore. I'm not going to act out of that program, but I'm going to move forward. I'm so happy that that resonates. I'm so happy because and again, this is something that I've really integrated this year, where I used to say, I think I had a whole video on like what it means when a version of me dies. Like so I'm learning in real time that, especially, and this is a huge theme that we can integrate with retrograde seasons and with these three planets. I'm so happy you asked, because it's kind of like when these past experiences come up, maybe an ex text or maybe an old program comes up, it's our opportunity to choose differently, for us to say, this isn't like, you're not the past version. I'm now in control of my avatar. I'm now the more evolved version of myself, and I'm going to act accordingly. I'm going to act out of that. Yes, 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 exactly, exactly, exactly. So we're learning in real time. And again, like, if you're just like me, I'm an experiential learner. I kind of have to dip my toe in maybe the wrong decisions or the wrong thing and then come out of it to be like, that didn't feel good. That absolutely didn't feel good. But so much of what we're experiencing now is viewing it differently. And so I really honor that. And I want to share this with you. Integration is like We're not fractaled. We are whole. We are whole souls. We are whole within ourselves. And when we love a past experience or a past version of ourselves without judgment and without any expectation, it heals us in the moment, and all it is love, and we can move forward in sovereignty, and we can move forward in a beautiful way. And so again, movement in all directions, it's just saying what you do is your business. That's not my business. What I'm doing is speaking for my truth right now. And again, to be able to say, even in the view of I used to say this, I wasn't wrong. That was my truth. There was a time period that I would share and teach and preach, like an old version of you had to die and this had to happen. So I wasn't wrong. That was my truth then. But I've learned new information and I've integrated new information now. So I can speak from that truth. I don't need to demonize myself and say, like, oh, can't believe you said that. That was my truth then. And so, and maybe that resonated for someone at that time. But what I can say now is I've integrated new information, I've learned new information, and this is the mindset that I have right now. I'm not perfect in any way, but this is my truth, and this is what has worked for me right now. So I have to get my water. Hold on. Hold on. Mm, okay. I want to check my notes. Yeah, the video that I'm posting after this, it felt really important. I'm so happy that resonated. It felt really important to talk about like false prophets, pedestalization. I don't even know if that's a word, and demonization and the conflict of the in between. Oh, I'm so grateful you're here. Literally correcting a previous decision I made from less empowered place. Like this, wow, I'm so grateful to share that with you. I'm so grateful. I love being a vibrational match for this group. It just feels like every time we come together, it just feels so nourishing that what we're in our own individual paradigms and our own individual charts and our own individual lives, it's just, we don't have to judge ourselves for what we've done and said. We can just say, oh, I've learned new information and this is what I think today. And even a version of myself that I was yesterday made very interesting decisions. And like, I learned, I'm an experiential learner, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I really wouldn't. I love the fact that I choose to physically or mentally or emotionally or experientially go into something, feel it in a tactile way, and then come back and say, oh, no, no, I'm going to stay on this path. So that's what the human experience is. We have to try something and feel it to decide. We can get in that. I don't know if analysis paralysis is the right phrase. Maybe it is. But instead of saying, like, am I making the right decision? Is this the right decision? Is this the right decision? Should I say this? Should I say this? Should I say this? Instead of being in that space of like, of fawn, just to say, I'm just going to make a decision. And then based on that decision that we make, I can come back and say, oh, I learned something that actually wasn't the right decision. And now I'm going to make the different decision. If it's like A or B, it's like, okay, I chose A. A wasn't the right flavor. And now I'm gonna salt it up with B. Mm, but yeah, so much movement happening. And it does feel like, I don't want to say that it won't be in your physical reality. I don't want to say that it will be. I think that movement, whatever it is that we've really been, I think with Mercury and Saturn going direct, if I was a betting woman, it would be mental. It would be, oh, the mental decision that I made is bringing me into this alignment. And because of that mental decision that I've made, maybe new opportunities are presenting themselves to me that are kind of like maybe a longer road, or maybe the bigger road in and of itself. I'll share from an ice statement. Like, I've been getting on my yoga mat as often as I possibly can, and it's been feeling like flying. I've been going to classes again, and it feels like a version of myself that is waking up that's been dormant for a very long time. And when I first was getting back on my mat, yes, yes, exactly, exactly. I love the way you said that. Interesting how that is being blessed even during the lean times. It feels like in the middle of a cloudy day, we're getting like a break of the sunshine and this like aha moment, or just the validation. I feel like it's just going to be something that says, yes, you are on your path. Yes, you are on the right placement. Or maybe it is like for myself yesterday, it was, this is not the right thing. So get back on your path. And it just, I feel like things are just going to be happening in a very clearer way for us. But again, because it's Saturn, and I'll talk more about that in the deep dive of Saturn tomorrow, it Saturn teaches us that like good things take time. So sometimes it's not always going to be that instantaneous result that we want it to be. But I feel like we all kind of have been like keen for a little bit of like, throw me a bone, please, or any sort of like a message, God, like, please. Yes, 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 exactly, exactly, exactly. I was having one of my salty cries that, especially in Scorpio season, it was like a salty, spicy cry once a day. And I was having one of those moments where I was like, God, I just need a sign. Please just send me a sign. I need a sign. And I looked out at my dash and there was 777 right there. And I was like, thank you. That was a very instantaneous sign. And then like all the times I'm like, I would have loved it to be a PayPal sign, but I see you. I see you. I hear you. I thank you for the instantaneous. Like I literally looked down and it was there. But I was like, I should have been slightly more specific that I would have loved it to be a PayPal sign, but thank you. But I see you. So it's like, again, Saturn, not always what we want it to be, but we're getting what we're asking for, if that makes sense. If that makes sense. But this, again, I'll talk more about Saturn tomorrow. I'm going to record the video tomorrow and post it tomorrow. And I apologize. Last week's Jupiter video was super late. It had been uploading all day. So there have been some Mercury retrograde glitches. I usually like to post them first thing in the morning, Eastern Standard Time, but also for my friends on the other side of the planet, I do post them later on. It's like when it posts, it posts. When it uploads, literally is when it posts. So sometimes it's not always there, but it's one thing that I really love about the transit of Saturn, and again, we're going to talk about this more tomorrow, is that big, you can see these. So Pluto, Uranus, and Neptune. Pluto trining Uranus, and then the sextile over here of these three boulders. That's like, and I use the term biblical. This doesn't happen. Like these are outer planets. They do not sit in these types of sextiles and trines in transit. This is a very big deal. It's a very, very big deal. And when we first stepped into this energy in 2025, this has already passed, Saturn was in the mix. So when Neptune dipped its toe into Aries, Saturn was right alongside of it. What does any of that mean, Sarah? It means that Neptune, our illusion, disillusion, our creative, our Poseidon in the sky planet, dipping into Aries of, again, prophets, false prophets, all these big things happening, the me, the storefront view of our life. Neptune going into Aries can really say, like, we have to be our own guru. We have to be our own coach, our own guide, and have our own connection to the God of our own understanding. Like, yes, it's beautiful to have channelers like myself to get those validations and to bring a lot of like the making sense to it, but that doesn't take away from your own practice. It doesn't take away. Like I can read as many yoga books as I want. I could read as many yogi stories as I want. Good morning, good morning. But me actually getting on my mat, that's what matters the most. That's what matters the most. So that illusion, the illusion of Poseidon, the illusion, and Neptune was kind of happy in Pisces. Pisces is run by Neptune and Jupiter. So this is a big step. This is a big deal, is that spiciness that we're coming into. And we've talked about that. This was like big historical events have happened before. Remember when Neptune was first dipping its toe into Aries? We've talked about this. But Saturn was always in the mix, saying, the planets are nourishing our path to say, I'm not going to let you build a house on sand. Because Neptune can say, like, oh my God, I got beachfront property. This is beautiful. I love it. Oh my goodness, this is where I'm supposed to be. Saturn is like, absolutely not. This is not where you're supposed to be. This is absurd. Do not build this house. Next year, like, drop. I love when I get to drop the wands. They're so much fun. Next year, starting in March, Saturn, because this conjunction happens of Neptune and Saturn and Aries at 0 degree 45 minutes. This happens on the 20th of February, Eastern Standard Time. Yes, the 20th of February, Eastern Standard Time. Like, that's like the beginning of the new world. That's just absolutely preposterous energy. Beautiful. And then Saturn scoots. Saturn moves along. Saturn moves along into Aries energy. but this stays. So it's really saying, like, it's on next year, 100%. It is on. This is new energy. It's a universal year of one. It's just like my whole companion is called a new. It's like we're not getting a new planet, but we're doing things with new energy. We're doing it in a different way. So this really says to me, Saturn's going to test that solid foundation that you've been building. And a lot of us, this is in our mind, this is in our nervous system, this is in our gut, this is in our being so much. And we talked about that in the Jupiter Four Horsemen video. It's like we're maybe not living where we want to be living. We maybe had to say, do I feel safe in my body? Do I feel safe in my skin? I don't have all the external things that I thought I needed to feel safe. I was probably given many opportunities to be scared, to be nervous, to be like, what is going on? And we had to come back to ourselves and come back to our own version of talking to the God of our understanding, our own spirit team, our own guides, to say, okay, if this is happening, it's for me, not to me. How am I going to navigate this? What am I learning? What's going on here? The Saturn is like, I'm going. You built this foundation. This is where we set up. Now we're going to put down some stones. We're going to lay some bricks, and it's going to be a good time. I'm so jazzed about that. I'm so excited about that. And so right now, to bring it back to the here and now, Neptune, Saturn, retrograde in Pisces still. What is this teaching us? What does Saturn going direct this week in the last, it's 25 to, it's at 25 degrees. What is it teaching us? And bring it into Saturn shows us the way. Exactly. Saturn is so beautiful. Saturn wants you to have the life of your dreams, but wants it to be exactly what it is that your soul wants, not what your ego wants. Certain things do take time. And so it's so much, I forget what video I talked about this in. Saturn asks, like it might have been last week's live, playing to the empty room. If we're showing up, physically doing what it is that we want, we'll use the lens of content creation. I want to be a content creator. Okay, so you're doing the lives, you're doing the videos, you're doing this, but I'm not getting the views that I want. I'm not getting the reception that I want. I only have one or two people that are engaging. You are actively in the energy of your future self, but the energy that you're putting into it is based on external validation. It's based on, I need there to be someone on the other end of the line for me to be living out God's word, to me to be preaching and teaching in that way. That's the moment where Saturn's like, I'm going to have less people in the room. You've got 2 DMs. Why aren't you listening? Why aren't you responding to those DMs? You've got 5 clients. Why aren't you talking to those 5 clients? The irony is it typically happens in a spring season, but our realization that death is just the beginning of the soul's unfolding. I love that. And death is only the beginning. This is all happening, the beginning and end of all things. I love that this is happening right now. And it also does say to me that during this season of, depending on what hemisphere you're in, if you're going into the wintertime or you're going into the summertime, it says like, whatever big realization you have, nourish it in your hermiting, nourish it in your wintertime season, read books on it, experience it. Like I'll speak from my statements, like getting onto my mat every day has felt like flying. It's felt like coming home again. Not me judging, like you used to be super bendy, you used to be this, you used to be that, you used to do this and blah, 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 blah. Those are stories. That's not happening right now. The connection of me to my future self, the connection of me to my past self is just me on my mat. That's it. That's it. So whatever that means to you, whatever it is, I want to start my own business, send those emails, put together the landing page, get to know marketing, research something. Like do it in a way where it doesn't have to be go, 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 or produce, 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 but get into the energy of your future self, what they're doing. That's when I was sitting and I was really channeling, the whole hemisphere thing. Yeah, exactly. Nope, I do that all the time. It's totally okay. It's when I was really sitting and channeling and talking to God and the Council of Nine before coming into this, it was presence, radical acceptance, and forward movement. So it's being radically present, radically accepting what is, but saying that's where I'm going. That's where I'm going. Not saying like, I wish it could be this or I wish it could be that. Say, this is exactly where I am. This is where I'm supposed to be. This is where I'm supposed to be. That's where I'm going. That was like last week when we talked about Jupiter. It could be very ambiguous. It could be very like, it's kind of me oriented, whatever it is, like wherever Jupiter's transiting in your chart, we're using the astrology as a lens, obviously, but it could be whatever's coming up in your life that seems like I want it. And it's just a little bit outside of my, I just can't get it. I just can't get it. That's Jupiter for you. That's Jupiter. And so now Saturn moving direct this week, it's like whatever mental aha moments, whatever you've finally decided, whatever really was coming up for the new moon, what did your soul actually want? Not your ego, but what does your soul want? And this could be something that's like the future image. Why is it so far into the future? Why have we labeled it as so big? Yes, you can. We can have this. We can have what's just outside of our reach. Saturn wants it to be on solid ground. Truly. It's like there's what's his name? David Guillaume. He talks about it's a beautiful analogy of when we are manifesting, when we're calling things in, which is like, I want $2 million instead of God, help me become the vessel to hold $2 million. I want a perfect partner. God, let me become the vibrational match for that partner. Focus inward. Focus inward on how can I be the vessel? He talks about a light where it's like I am, can only hold 80 watts and I'm trying to put in 220. You pop. That's like the analogy is like, the lottery winner that spends it all or something like that. Or, you're trying to lift a heavy weight even though you're not ready for that weight yet. So you hurt yourself. We must become the vibrational match for it. Everything in this universe is a vibration. Everything is a song that's being sung. What song are you singing? Again, the phrase of like, what phrase am I retiring this week? What is an older version of you that we're integrating to say, I'm in control now. I'm running the avatar. You're not in control. And the words, the spells that you used to speak, I'm not going to speak those anymore. I'm going to speak this instead. So it's like the razor's edge, the razor's edge type stuff. There's one other thing I want to talk about, which is the full moon that we have coming up in Gemini. And I did my all signs reading. Yes. Oh my goodness. I love every single one of you. May the power of Slay be with you, and everyone is so good. It's so good. I love this group so much. I'm so happy that you're all here. And so I've already done in all of my membership groups, there's an all signs reading for Sagittarius season that's available already. So it could be the paradigm shift room, it could be the reading room, and it could be the divine sovereign room. Really just like choose your space. We went through an all signs reading. And what I've been doing is kind of one all signs reading a month. And obviously, you know how I love Mars. So I've been doing Mars transits. But for December, the full moon in Gemini is so thumping. It is so powerful and so potent that that's going to be the all signs reading that I'm going to be doing on YouTube. So if you are interested in all signs reading and you want to invest in yourself through this work, membership groups are available for you. I also put the codes below. I'm doing a Black Friday sale, 44% off my entire course library, the meditation library, as well as your first payment for the membership groups. So it could be your first payment monthly, or if you want to do yearly, you get 44% off. It just, again, I talked about it in the holiday video. Black Friday is weird to me. I just want, like, if you want to invest in yourself through this work, I really just want to work with you and really be as helpful as I possibly can be. And I know that that comes through. And thank you for being here. And, but the code is below and it's going to start on, what is it? The 28th, and it's going to go through Cyber Monday. So it'll go until the 2nd, like 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 2nd, but 44% off. If you've been interested in investing in Mastering Mars, Awaken Mastery, any of my programs. So it's available for the course library, the membership groups, as well as the meditations, but it excludes canvases, it excludes the live individualized sessions, as well as the council gathering. So it's just all of the courses that are on the website, but all the information is below in the little code. So I'll probably talk more about that, but I wanted to put that out there. And so the full moon, I just want to touch upon this. I think we have a little bit more time. This is happening Eastern Standard Time on the 4th. This is squaring the nodes. This is squaring the North Node and the South Node. So just yesterday, we had Mars over here. I'm going to take this down. I'm going to put you down for a minute. Just yesterday, we had Mars sitting at, it's at 14 degrees still today. 14 degrees Sag, 14 degrees of Virgo. 14 degrees of Pisces. So the north node, what we're going into, south node, what we're releasing, Mars, our inner assertion, and it's like kind of how we get things done. Squaring, 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 squaring. And I talked about this in the membership group, but I want to mention it here. When it comes to this square, it's like you're going left, you're going right. It's not like, oh, this is the better path, and this doesn't look like the right path. It's like you choose left or right, A or B, black or white. It's very much like, it doesn't feel emotional to me. It just feels like Mars can either go towards the north node or it can go towards the south node. I don't know where you're going to be, but the full moon is at 13 degrees. The nodes will be at 13 degrees at the same time. Can you see it? Yep. Mutable, 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 mutable. It's going to be wild. I'm so excited. I'm here for this. This is so connected to our nodes. This is connected to fate. This is our destiny. Destiny's calling. It's looking for us. Your destiny actively wants to be you. Your future self wants to be you. And it was something I was journaling yesterday. It was Sunday. Like, it's so beautiful. It's just so beautiful. I was journaling with my future self, and it was like I was writing things out, like I was in the space. I was in it. And my future self just stopped and looked at me, and she just went like, because I was writing like, oh, she wears these like beautiful silk ensembles, and there was like some of my clothes that I had to throw away. I was like, oh my God, she's so fancy, and she's so this, and she's so that. And she stopped and she's like, I'm you, girl. Why are you pedestalizing me? Why are you putting me up like I'm you? Just because I have different things and I wear different clothes doesn't mean I'm not you. I'm you. And so I love that this is so connected to where we're going. But the north node in our house of soul purpose, it might feel elusive, it might feel ambiguous, it might feel strange, it might feel dreamy, or it might feel so far outside. Ugh. Releasing in the practicality sense, doing more mindfulness, doing more grounding, doing more embodiment practicing, throwing away those phrases. I'm going to be throwing away a few items. The one thing that I thought of yesterday was like I was actively wearing a piece of clothing that I was talking to my future self and God, and I was like, well, that's not in your future, is it? I'm like, no, it's not. It's like, so I have to get rid of it. And they're like, you tell us, girl. You can decide on that. You can decide on that. Because it's like, it's not about the piece of fabric, it's the energy behind it. Everything boils down to energy. Everything boils down to vibration. So I just sat with, I put it to the side. I was like, I don't want to do this today. I'm not ready to do this today. But I took it off and I was like, so it's not always easy. But if one razor's edge, if me keeping that piece of clothing prevents me from becoming my future self, goodbye. 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 I'm sharing a little bit. I'm just sprinkling some of my areas of rationality onto you right here. Okay. Receive it if you want. Receive it if you want. But it's like, it's gotta go. 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 We can break this down very simply. Very, very simply. Full moon energy in Gemini. Us being privy to something, communication, language, information that we might not have had access to before. It came up in a few different signs that this might be information from your childhood. This might be something that you're like, oh my God, I did not know this was happening. Or if there was deceit, or there's something was not what it seems. Something was not fully what it seems. And you just see it and you're like, I don't actually have to enmesh with that. I just have to keep moving along. But it's good to know. Thank you. Thank you for showing me who you are. And thank you for showing me that that's a different reality. But yes, 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 yes. I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that. And so releasing in the house of Gemini, and we're focused on the lighthouse in the sky, the sun is in the house of Sagittarius. Quest, adventure, long distance travel, higher education, big thinking. This big, big, big thinking. Yes, yes, yes. Now, North Node over here in our house of soul purpose, and we're releasing patterns and systems and daily habits that do not serve us, daily phrases we can use, because Virgo is run by Mercury. Mercury will be direct for this full moon. I love that. So simply, we can focus up here. Where's Sag? Where's Pisces? This is where we're going. And we can release over here in the Virgo house and the Gemini house. Where is this mutable axis falling in your chart? Take a peek. Like I just have a feeling that wherever Gemini is, wherever 13 degrees of Gemini is, same, same. I love Sagittarius season. I'm a Scorpio rising, so it was like such a deep dive, but this is nice. This is nice. The fire, the mutable warmth of the fire. I just feel like anything can happen in Sag season. I just love it. I just love it so much. So I'm like so happy. So happy. I was having a salty, spicy cry once a day in Scorpio season, like a screaming teenager driving, talking to God cry. Like when you know when the screeches come out, you know when that happens, where you're like it was every day, daily, and I'd be like walking my car, like, let's see what's gonna come out today. Let's see what we're gonna release today, and it's just yeah, Sag season. It's like this is nice. One thing that I love, no, I cried more Scorpio season than I did. 100%, 100%. I just like I see you. That was intense. That was intense. That was a deep dive. That was a deep dive, and it was just like it felt like such a powerful release. I didn't hold it in, and I know you didn't either. Like it was just like no. I'm just gonna go cry. Like it's a food group. My favorite phrase. My favorite phrase. Cry like it's a food group. Yeah, it was daily. It was daily. It was pretty good. What did I want to say about Sag? Letting this be big thinking. Oh, I remember. So the other fire signs, Aries over here and Leo over here. This is the general wheel, starts in Aries and goes to Pisces. Sag is the oldest fire sign. Infant baby ram. It's kind of like the stand by me kiddos. This is in Pisces is the baby ancients over here. We're getting older. We're learning our ways. So I talked about it in the membership group. Like when a Sag compliments you, you accept that. They have no reason to lie to you. They're not going to stroke your ego. They don't care. But if they tell you that you're good at something, it's because you are. Yes. Love it. The Scorpio risings. I'm right there with it. I love you so much. My sun is Leo Virgo Cus. My rising is Cap. That being said, Sag is art and has deep. Yes, 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 yes. I love that. I love that. I love that. It's just the I love the Scorpio rising. It's so much fun. It's so much fun. And it's sneaky, sneaky on me for sure. There's so many Scorpio risings that I've met where I'm like, I see you. You could live next to a graveyard and you'd be fine. It's like my Pluto, my natal Pluto is retrograde conjunct my ascendant. And so it was like, of course you would be channeling. Of course you would be doing this for a living. My Capricorn moon is like, you got to make it accessible for people. You got to make it accessible. So I love you. But yeah, Sag, they don't have to lie to you. This is the house, one of the houses of legalities as well. Higher education, long distance travel, spirituality, big thinking over here. Libra and Sag are the houses of legalities. So Mercury going direct, letting things kind of clear themselves up. Everything's working out in your favor. We know that we're in the right time. We're exactly where we're meant to be. Even if it's not where we think that we should be, we're exactly where we're meant to be. We're clearing all these things up. But utilizing this season and this full moon, releasing old means of communication, releasing those old phrases, releasing those childhood belief systems. When we think of communication and early learning in the third house, in the house of Gemini, it's where we learned the boundaries of our communication. Meaning, and the parable that I give is when I learned my first swear word. I heard the F word at school and I didn't know what it meant. So I came home and I just will never forget. I've told this story for years now. If you've been with me for years, you've heard this story before. And I was just standing in the kitchen. My mother was taking out my pigtails. She was taking out my braids. And I just say, Mom, what does mean? And she whipped me around and slapped me across the face. I was like, okay, cool. That's how I learned swears. And so for many years, I had, like the tongue of an Irish dock worker. And like it was pretty disturbing. And now I don't swear anymore when I'm channeling, or I try not to in my content. And sometimes when I do in Scorpio season, I was swearing and I was saying, I'm sorry, angels, but there's no other word. They're like, go for it, kiddo. Just get it out. You're doing great. You're doing fine. Just keep on getting those. Just get the little tickles out. Just get the burps out for sure. Yes. Yeah, they were so funny sounding. I love that. I love that. But this is we learned the boundaries of communication in the 3rd house. That's where we learned and understood those types of boundaries. So again, it's like infant baby, Taurus is getting a little older, Gemini is like the kiddo that's like, I stuck my finger in an electrical socket and this is what's going to happen and your ear is going to twitch and your hair is going to smell a little bit and blah 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 blah. I'm about it too. I'm a writer. Oh, that's so funny. That's so good. It's like sometimes you gotta do it. It's like it's a point of contention. I've heard other channelers and other, spiritual coaches that are like, swear, do it. Just forever do it. But it's sometimes like when I'm channeling, the angels definitely don't like it that much. And it just kind of like to me, it's like burping or something like that, where I'm like, I can use a different phrase here. But when I need my inner teenager to scream into the void, there are going to be swears. So there's a stage for it for sure. There's a stage for it for sure. But it's understanding where we learned these phrases and kind of like even like I didn't expect the what phrase to retire to be so connected to the full moon, but even if you don't want to do it this week, the full moon is next week. Again, it's on the 4th Eastern Standard Time, but it's really asking like, what phrase do I say that maybe came from my parents, that maybe came from my culture, from my upbringing, from my belief system, that really doesn't resonate anymore, that really doesn't resonate. And it could be so simple, like the one I'm saying, like, Sybil, I don't know about that. Like, that's me gentle parenting, where I'm like, don't knock the crystal off the shelf is actually what I want to say. And so, like, maybe I don't need to beat around the bush. I can actually just say, like, don't do that. Yes. Yes, that's so true. Swearing only has meaning with restraint. I love that. Yes, yes, it's a side effect to passion, 100%, 100%. I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that. Oh, that's so beautiful. Swearing only has meaning with restraint. That's so well put. That's so well put. So well put. Yeah, it feels so good sometimes to get it out. My salty, spicy cries in Scorpio season, they were riddled. And it felt so good. It felt so needed and so good. So I think that's all. Those were my notes. Next, December's council gathering is next Monday. So please, I put the link in the description if you'd like to sign up. It's at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 1st, but the recording is included. So if you can't show up live, you can 100% receive the vibrations and you're there in soul and spirit. So definitely check out the council gatherings. We meet once a month, the first Monday of every month. I talked about the Black Friday sale. Like I said, I'm going to post a video right after I sign off that can be available. That's you like, I like front loading the week and giving you all of the things. And so don't watch whenever you would like, or if it doesn't resonate, you don't have to watch. There's never any expectation. I just love that you're here. So that's going to be about our guides are not gods and some deeper information, but also like I want that to be available for us whenever going into 2026, going into when Saturn's not here and all this false prophesizing and all the things are happening, we can come back to our own discernment. We can come back to our own inner truth and the God of our own understanding. Yes, yeah, I love that. Oh my God. The swearing thing. That's so beautiful. They gotta come out. They 100% have to come out. 100%. But thank you for being here. What questions do you have for me? How are you feeling? Tomorrow's going to be the Saturn video, the Four Horsemen series. We're talking about all things Saturn. So I'll be giving key dates, themes of Saturn, transits of Saturn, what's happening next year. Fully goes into Aries energy. And then there's one transit. I forget. It might be Saturn that happens on my birthday. I can't remember. But it's irrelevant. I'll talk about it again tomorrow in this video. But thank you for being here. This is really such a gorgeous group and such a gorgeous energy. I'm so grateful to share in this. I've missed you so much. Yes. Let's pop off this season. I'm locking in on my portfolio. Yes. Oh, I'm celebrating you. That is beautiful. Oh my goodness. Let's pop off this season. I adore this. I adore this energy. I'm receiving that. I'm sharing that with you. Yes, I'm in. Let's do it. Let's do it. Yes, as long as I'm able to be around. I just had somewhere else to be. Thank you. Missed you so much. I'm so happy that you're here. Oh, my goodness. I'm so grateful. So grateful. We will be back next week. Yeah. Yeah. Next Monday's gonna be a beautiful big day. I love the big channeling days when I channel the 9 and then come into a live. My eyes are just like universes. It's such a good time. I love what I get to do with you. It's so much fun. But please reach out at any time. I love hearing from you. Oh my goodness, it's just such a joy to be here. And I miss you all so much for it's integrating these energies is no joke. It is no joke. Rest like it's a food group. Cry like it's a food group. Be in what you're in. Movement does not have to be all of these things happening in your third dimensional matrix. It could be realizations. It could be your root system going down. So take what resonates with you and ask yourself, how does this apply to me? Take some time and really like, what is a phrase that I want to retire? Where is this happening in my chart? What do I want to release and let go of? What does Saturn and Neptune at the last degrees of Pisces, what is that finishing up and completing? That was a really beautiful question that Pam Gregory had asked in her last video. I loved it. Like, what do these two planets mean to me? Where is this falling in my chart? Apply it to your own life and really see. It's kind of like what I've been saying lately is we can look at the chart and say, this is where this is falling. And then we can say, oh, that tracks in my life. Or we can look at our life and say, these are the themes that are coming up. We can be like, oh, that's why, that's why, that's why, that's why, that's why. So as above, so below, as within, so without. We're doing it as a community, as a collective. We are doing it. And I'm so grateful to just be a vibrational match. I love you so much. I'm just absolutely beaming to be sharing the space with you. Thank you for being here. Please, if you have not already subscribed to the channel, it helps immensely that you do. It is me, God, 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 and me over here. So any support that you can offer, it just really, it means more than you could ever possibly know. So thank you. That's the key. We're all doing this together as a group. I love you. I will see you next week at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Mondays here live on YouTube. Have a beautiful day. Have a beautiful week, my darlings. Love ya. Love ya.